Okay, open your book. Open your book on page. On page 83, please. 83. We finished page 83 and 84 already, right? Okay. Next one, page 85. Page 85. Today we gonna study about force. Force ก็คืออะไรคะนักเรียน Force. What is force mean? แรง Yes, very good. Good job. I'll share the screen for you. Okay. You saw my screen? Do you see my screen? Yes. 1 second. One second, class. Okay. So, today we're gonna study about force. Force is a push or pull action on an object. Push. What is push? Push. Push. ผลัก Yes. Pull. Pull. Yes. Action on an object. The force can make the object to change its form, starting from moving, stop moving, or change its direction. A force has both magnitude and direction. The unit of a force called Newton. The unit of a force called Newton. Repeat after me, class. The unit of the force. Who is that? Gone. We are at page 85. Gone. We are at page 85. The unit of the force is Newton. Okay. So Newton เป็นหน่วยของแรงนะนักเรียน We use an arrow. Do you see the arrow? Yes, the arrow to show the magnitude and direction of the force. Okay. The number 1, the length of the arrow show the magnitude size of the force. If the arrow was long, the magnitude of the force is big. If it's big arrow, this one show 80 Newton. Do you see? It's very long arrow. But this one, if an arrow is short, the magnitude of force is small. an arrow showing 20 Newton force. You understand how different? Yes. So the large one show the arrow of the long magnitude of force. It's big force. But if it was small, it will be the magnitude of force is small. Okay. And then the head of the arrow, the head of the arrow show the direction of the force. For example, if it's go left, of course it's turn left. If it's go right, of course it's go right. Okay. So it's about the arrow of the force. Okay. Next one. For example, can you read the force? An 80 Newton force. This force had a magnitude of 80 Newton acting to the right. What is magnitude mean, class? Magnitude, can anyone find it? What is magnitude mean? Magnitude, what is magnitude mean? Anyone knows? Open Google. What is... yes, that's right. ขนาด magnitude of 80 Newton acting on the right. Okay. So what about the lower one? It will be this force had a magnitude of 20 Newton acting to the left. Okay. So next one. We use a spring scale to measure the magnitude of force acting on an object. The unit of force is Newton. That's very good. The unit of force is Newton. Okay. So next one. A resultant force. What is a resultant force mean? A resultant force. Yes, very good. Good job. The resultant force is a sum of all force acting on an object. Sum of all force acting on an object ก็คือผลรวมของแรงที่กระทำต่อวัตถุนั่นเอง To get the resultant force, we need to know the magnitude and direction of all force acting on an object. There are 3 cases. Okay. Today we're gonna study about 3 cases. Okay. Number 1. 2 or more force acting on the same object in the same direction. The resultant force is more than 0. The object move in the same direction as the force. Okay. You have a look. Is this truck moving the wood. Force moving. Force 1 is 20 Newton. Force 2 is 30 Newton. Moving the same direction. So the resultant force is how much? 50 Newton. 50 Newton. Very good, because it's moved to the same direction. The resultant force is the sum of all force acting on the object. So force 1 and force 2 sum up or add it up or plus the resultant force. Force 1 add force 2 equal the resultant force. 20 Newton add 30 Newton equal 50 Newton. The object is moved to the right by the resultant force of 50 Newton. This will be on your midterm exam. Will be on your midterm exam. You have to be able to write it. Like this. Okay. So force 1 and force 2 add it up together. 20 Newton add it up 30 Newton equal 50 Newton. The object is moved to the right by a resultant force of 50 Newton. Okay. Next one, next page. 1 second, my computer is slow. Okay, next one. Case 2. What about case 2? Case 2. Two forces of different size acting on the same object in the opposite direction. The resultant force is more than 0. The object moves in the same direction as the bigger force. Can you guess? The truck number 1 moving the wood, force 1 50 Newton. The truck number 2 moving the force 20 Newton. Which way does it gonna go? Which way you think, left or right? Left or right? Can anyone answer me? Number 2, case 2. So it's gonna go left or it's gonna go right? Right, that's correct. Why it's go right? No, why do you think it's go right? Okay, because the force is bigger. 50 Newton is bigger than 20 Newton. So the resultant force is 30 Newton. So it will be this truck, number 1 truck is moving the wood. Okay. So the resultant force, the difference of two force acting on the object. Okay. Force 1 minus or subtract force 2 equal the resultant force. You can see in the picture, if it's long arrow it means, and the pointed of the arrow is go on the right, it's big force. But if it's short arrow, it's small force. So 50 Newton subtract 20 Newton equal 30 Newton. So the object is moved to the right by a resultant force of 30 Newton. Okay. Easy. I told you, is it easy? Yes. Why you sound like that? Okay, number 3. Okay, case 3. Two forces of the same size acting on the same object in the opposite direction. The resultant force is equal to 0. The object will not move. Okay, what do you think? If force 1 is 40 Newton, force 2 is 40 Newton, what do you think how much the resultant force will be? 0 Newton, that's very good. Good job. Because force 1 is go on the right, force 2 is go on the left. And then the size is the same size. Force 1 subtract force 2 equal the resultant force. 40 Newton subtract 40 Newton equals 0 Newton. The resultant force is equal to 0. The object will not move. Okay, the object will not move. Okay. So we have to learn about Newton. You know who is Newton? Sir Isaac Newton. Newton is the unit of force. Is named after an English scientist, Sir Isaac Newton. He was the one who discovered the theory of gravity. He also studied about force and motion of the object. Okay, so this we call Sir Isaac Newton. He is the one who discovered the theory of the gravity and also study about force and motion of the object. Okay. Any question? Case 1. Case 1, go the same direction, we add it up. Case 2, go opposite direction but different force, but different size of force, we subtract. Case 3, going opposite direction but the same force, we subtract as well, and the resultant force equal 0 Newton. The object will not move. Okay. So if no question, open your book on page 90, please. 90, and do the work on page 90. Number 1, page 90, number 1, and number 1 and number 2, page 90. You know what to do? You know what to do? Yes, you can. And the object will move where? Right. Yes, that's correct. Okay, you do it. And then number two, you finish first. You finish number 1 first, and then we will talk about number 2. Okay. Who is that? Why they just join? Gan, why so late? We all finished the lesson. We already finished the lesson. Gan, we are at page 90. If you finish, you have to take the picture and then send to teacher Jom Jam, okay? Okay, page, what page is that? 90? Page 90, okay. But I will review it first. You know how to do number 2? Huh? Number 2, you mean? Yes. 7 Newton subtract 5 Newton equal to Newton. It's not minus. เข้าใหม่ it's not minus. The resultant force is 2 Newton. It will be case 2. Do you have a look at the book? It will be case 2. Do you see case 2? Yes. You know what to do on number 3? Okay, I give you time. Okay. I won't tell you. We will review it anyway, so you have to do by your own first.